Roman numeral 3. Let's talk about that. Okay, so what I have on the screen, what you have on the next page in your books, page 147, is in its entirety page 2 of the closing disclosure. I've outlined on the screen a red box around the seller paid column. So just at a glance, what makes it different than page 2 of the loan estimate, it still has the sections A, B, C, D, etc. We're still doing the subtotal first, followed by the itemization. But now we have columns for the borrower. Remember, the loan estimate only had a column that represented what the borrower was going to be responsible for from an estimated standpoint. On the closing disclosure, we're talking about actual charges paid. And we needed to split them out between the borrower and the seller and even others. Okay, mostly the paid by others would be the bank in many situations. But it's not just about borrower paid or seller paid or paid by others. We need to know whether it's borrower paid or seller paid and when it's being contributed relative to the transaction, at the closing table or before closing. So that's different than what we had on the loan estimate side of things. Now, specific to the box that I have outlined on the screen and the bottom of page number 146, for whatever reason, there's this thought out there that if it's something that's the seller's responsibility and has no connection to the borrower, that it doesn't have to be disclosed on the borrower's closing disclosure. Well, in fact, it's the opposite of that. The TRID rules specifically state, hey, that nothing can be omitted from page 2 of the borrower's closing disclosure. That includes fees that are paid on behalf of the borrower by the seller. Those are absolute, and most of the times those don't get missed. But what about fees that are solely the responsibility of the seller? Well, first off, they go in section H for the most part, okay? But they cannot be left off of page 2 of the closing disclosure. So I know, what business of it is it to the borrower, something that the seller pays for, that's really none of the seller's response or none of the borrower's responsibility or business to know? We can go that far. Well, I get that we can think that way, but that's not how we need to approach this.